Hey guys, it's Shelby, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a chit-chatty video, and then we'll get into what the title of this video is. But I did want to update you guys on, how do I say this? How I'm feeling about my channel, the content I'm making, just the time I have to dedicate to it, so on and so forth. I just think there are some things you guys need to know and understand, and I'm going to take the opportunity really quick at the beginning of this video to tell you about it, and to tell you that there are at least 2 series that I think I'm going to start every month that I hope you guys are into and I need your feedback on. So I know that was a lot, so just hear me out. If you're only here for the video, I'll put a timestamp in the description box to skip ahead to what the title's about, but first, just let me get through this. So as you guys know, most of you probably, if you're not new here, if you are, make sure you subscribe. But if you're not new here, or even if you are, I'm just going to tell you, YouTube is not my full-time job. I have a pretty, I guess it's a pretty cool job. It's basically exactly what I would have wanted to do when I was in college, but the thing is my kind of perception of what I want to do has shifted. I went to school for environmental science. Specifically, I focused on policy. I have a full-time job that takes a lot of my life, and then trying to produce content for this channel is where my passion lies. I love doing it. I love hearing your feedback. I love coming up with ideas. I love all of those things. But me personally, there are things that I am all for. Like, I think zero waste is important. I think reducing your waste is important. I think minimalism is important. I think not supporting overconsumption is important. And all of those things, railing against consumerism and those sort of things, makes it very hard as an influencer to make it my job. Mostly I tell you all of that because I want you to know how much I appreciate your support, you watching these videos, etc. I really, really appreciate it. And so in order to kind of maintain making videos that are not too hard to put together, like are very research heavy, and then not having just like boring sit down chit chat videos, I'm going to try to come up with more topics and series like the one we're going to cover today. I asked you guys recently if you prefer quality or quantity, and most of you guys voted for quality, which is understandable, but I think maybe people misunderstood what I mean by quality, because basically what that means is heavily researched, a lot of those extra cutout clips and showing you how to do things, or displaying it in a way that isn't so easy. Like sitting down here, I have a lot of things I just want to get out. I don't know if you would consider that not quality, but to me, I feel like I have some knowledge and things to share, and I think it's important. I personally could find value in it, so I'm wondering if you do too. So yeah, any feedback on anything I just said in the comment section would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I just want to know where you guys stand, if you understand where I am in this process of, you know, trying to make my YouTube something that I could dedicate more time to is really all I want. I have so many ideas. If I could just show you guys my bullet journal. Like, this is just one page. I don't want to show you guys all my ideas because I like things to be a surprise. But I have at least 4 pages of video ideas in this book. I just don't have the time to do all of them. Anyway, that was just a ramble, and to let you know that I want to start more series where I can just sit down, share my perspective, share like tips or tricks that are ready to go. So let me know what you think of this series. Basically, 2 series I'm interested in starting is the one that is the title of this video. Basically, every month I would sit down and talk about things that I talked myself out of buying, right? So many things that we buy on a daily basis just because we think they're pretty, or we think they'll bring value, or we think we need them, or all of those sort of things. I realized that I do want to be a minimalist, although I do like participating in the secondhand market, and recently I've been trying to do that a little bit less just because the amount of clutter I've accumulated, you guys. So with all that said, one of the series I have in mind is things I talked myself out of buying. Every month I will keep a log, again in my bullet journal, about things I talked myself out of buying, and I will share that with you. To tag on to that, I kind of thought about doing like a monthly favorites, because everyone on YouTube does a monthly favorites, but mine would be like everything I bought in a month. So if I did buy anything in a month, obviously it's going to be things that I really loved and I really thought about, and so I could share those things with you guys in a separate video. So that would be 2 videos, although the second one was just a suggestion, not one that I've decided on yet. The third one would be a rant video. So if you guys don't know, I live in Texas. I have a very conservative, closed-minded, non-eco-friendly, just very opposite of me. I don't mean to say conservative in the fact of their political beliefs. I mean conservative in the way that they're very stuck in their ways and they want to conserve how the past was, basically. So I have interactions not only with my friends and family, but just the environment of living in a conservative-minded, not eco-minded, oil-driven state allows me to have quite a few interactions with people that I could rant about and just to share with you, either for a laugh or so we can vent about it together, or maybe we can learn something from it. So like interactions, that's what it would be, a monthly rant video of interactions I've had that I want to share. So that's the second series. So we have everything I talked myself out of buying, possibly, and everything I bought that month, and a rant video every month. I want to know what you guys think about those videos so I know if I should start dedicating a video every single month to them. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So let's just hop right into it. Let's talk about the things I talked myself out of buying this month. So a lot of these things are secondhand. I go to the thrift store a lot. Like a lot, like not like a normal person. I realized like when I was in college we had a terrible thrift store. I could never find anything at my thrift store. Now I have so many decent thrift stores near me that I just can't stop going. And I'm also looking for particular things every single time. There are certain things, if you've seen my thrift shopping wish list, oh, I can never remember which side. I think it's this side. Whichever side those cards pop up on. I will link my thrift shopping wish list. But I go every week basically hoping I can find one of those products. And if I don't, I still end up looking through like the home goods and the clothing and stuff like that. So a lot of the things I talk myself out of every month are secondhand. And so I'll share those with you and I'll put some video. I'll try to remember every time I do it to put the videos on the screen. So the first thing I talked myself out of that I don't have video of is a brown plate from Goodwill. It was hand carved. It looked very hand carved. It was old, probably vintage even. It was like a wider bowl like this. And it was kind of flat. You know, the ones that are like basically a plate, but then they have the rounded edges. And I've been thinking that would be so beautiful to put in my altar, in there in my meditation space. And it would be. It's beautiful, but I don't need it, you know? Like all my crystals are sitting on my little altar that I built for myself. I have my feather and my the wooden stick, I forget what it's called off the top of my head right now, the one that you burn, and my sage and all those things. Everything I need is already sitting there. So why does it need a bowl to sit in? You know, it really doesn't. And that's not something I would feel guilty if I had bought it, because like, you know, it's secondhand. It was probably like $4. Nothing too bad to feel bad about. I just didn't need it. So I passed over it. There were several secondhand things I've talked myself out of this month. A few of them I remember to get video of. So I'll go ahead and roll them right now. Just beautiful, very original, very unique type things that part of me wishes I had space for and that I wasn't planning on downsizing soon, but I just don't, you know? It's either you want to live very simply and you want to live very minimally so that you can do other things, or you do want to own a home and fill it with a bunch of beautiful things. I don't see something wrong per se with either one of them. It's just not the lifestyle I want to live. And I need to learn how to align my lifestyle with that, because I grew up a very different way, where we consumed and bought just everything we wanted, not from the secondhand market, from the first-hand market. That's pretty bad. But I have to still, because of how I was raised and who I was maybe like 5 years ago, still find myself having to talk myself and understand the lifestyle that I want. So that's kind of what this series all comes down to. Trying to live the lifestyle and align my life with what I want. Okay, so the next thing I talked myself out of buying so far is either a new phone, a new screen, getting it repaired, etc. For some reason, one day, or was it 2 days that this was happening, my phone wasn't charging. I would plug the charger in and it wouldn't charge. And it really freaked me out, because if your phone doesn't charge, your phone's gonna die and you won't have a phone. And for someone who does stuff online and just like in general wants to be connected to the outside world, I can't have that happening, right? So immediately I started debating taking it to Apple and getting it repaired. And then I remembered that Apple, I think a lot of times won't work on your phone if it's not as updated as they, like the latest version of update that they have, because they'll say that that will fix your problem. Whatever. I find that I haven't updated my phone, you guys, since I lived in California, which was 3 years ago, I think, Madison updates her phone, and her phone is having exponentially more problems than mine is, so I'm not trying to update it, and I'm scared to go to the Apple store for that reason. And also my phone is at least 3 years old, so it's kind of coming up on the time to upgrade, but I definitely talked myself out of it for right now. It also has a problem where half the screen will go like black and the other, it just goes in and out. My phone has a lot of problems, but technology, if you guys don't know, has a very significant environmental footprint as well as social footprint, like the impacts on the people who make those products. So I definitely do not plan to buy a phone new. I won't do that ever again. But I have been thinking about buying one secondhand just because it's time. The phone on my camera also is like nowhere near where it should be for what year we're living in. The new iPhones have such great cameras, and to get really good like DSLR quality type pictures that you can get with an iPhone these days, I can't. I have to carry around my DSLR. That's how I get really good pictures. Shameless plug, follow me on Instagram if you're not. But yes, so for now I have talked myself out of getting a new screen or a new charger because that charging problem I was talking about, it passed. And so I definitely don't need a whole new phone right now. I'm just very scared that when it comes down to it, if I wait until my phone absolutely just shits itself, I'm gonna have to buy one on Craigslist and not be able to kind of like negotiate price or something because I'll need it quick. So that's kind of my, I'm a little iffy on it, but I have so far talked myself out of getting one. This is a little thing, but an attachment for my NutriBullet. So we only have one, you know, the NutriBullets you twist on the top and there's like the plastic cup that you just put onto the bullet. There's apparently another attachment you can get that is actually like a real blender, like you load stuff in the top, you push it down and it blends like a normal blender. And I wanted to get one the other day because we only have one of those cups, so if Madison and I both make a smoothie, we have to transfer them and stuff like that. And also just because if you want to add something to your smoothie, you have to take it off, unscrew the lid, clean off the lid, put it in there, put it back on, take it back off. It's just a lot. And if you had like the one pitcher lid, you could just open the top, you know, put stuff in like a normal blender. But so far I've talked myself out of doing it just because there is a slight inconvenience. I think the attachment I want is like $30 or $40, which, you know, for the inconvenience for $40, I'll take the inconvenience. But that's just me. I think most people would think of that and go, oh, this product would make my life a lot easier, I'm just gonna buy it. But this month, I don't know if it's because I'm paying attention or just because I'm cheap, because I totally am. I've talked myself out of buying that attachment for now. Let me know if any of you guys have a NutriBullet or that attachment, if you find it useful, if you think I'm being ridiculous, I don't need it. Whatever you're feeling, I would love to know. And looking at my list, it seems like that is pretty much everything I definitely have to share with you guys this month. So I hope you like this video. I hope maybe it's shifting your thinking and maybe you're just kind of understanding what I mean to not be a consumer, to kind of think about what you already have and use that instead, or to just think more about what you're thinking about buying and understanding if you truly need that thing. That's kind of the goal of this, right? We all talk about anti-consumerism, and of course that is a thing. While I totally will still buy things new, while I totally understand buying things like things I talked about in this video, I think it's important to like just put that little inkling in your head to think about it before you do it, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. I am really looking forward to your comments in the comment section about all the thoughts I went through today. But until next time, you guys, remember, create the peace.